Hello! Okay, hello. So I didn't do this last time I published a book because of a whole host of variety of reasons. And I suck at doing unboxing videos myself because I always neglect to actually remember to get the camera out to do the unboxing part. Like, I'm just so excited whenever I've got a parcel because I've usually forgotten what's in it, or I know what's in it and I'm so excited about it that I kind of forget that I want to set up a camera and do an unboxing and whatever. And also, normally, I'm not in any state of like appropriate clothing to be on camera, because 9 times out of 10 I'm in a dressing gown or a ratty old t-shirt if I'm not on a filming day, because I spend most of my time typing out my little stories at home, which is great, and I'm in comfy clothes to do that because it's sensible. Like, I'm literally wearing pyjama pants. But a nice hoodie. Sometimes I just wear nice hoodies. It's not the point. The point is that because I've been doing these read with me stories anyway, I've had to at least dress nicely from the waist up for those. So, since I am dressed nicely from the waist up, and that's all I need for filming a video anyway, because this envy doesn't make up unless it's a convention, I got my physical Amazon proof of Mary Ellen finding Heir today, and I thought I could A, unbox this on camera and show you what I do to sort of check through it and make sure it's okay, and B, do a quick comparison of Ingram Spark printing versus Amazon printing. Whoa. Ingram Spark printing versus Amazon printing, because I think that's a really fun video. I love watching other people do that, and I just want to put my 2 cents out there. And apparently Porthos is, do you mind? He gets to eat the packaging when we're done with it. So, here we go. Not this bit though, because it's got plastic in it. But anyway, here we go. In the stunk. Ah. Go on then. So, let me see. Front cover looks good. Basically what I'm checking for is, I mean, I know obviously it says the not for resale banner that goes all the way around. That's printed onto the cover whenever you get a pre-order author copy. Basically what I try to check for on the front cover is that the text is legible. Obviously the Guardian Cadet series part 2 is covered a bit by the pre-sale banner, not for resale banner, but it's fine. Check that it's not pixelated, all that kind of stuff. Then I check the spine, make sure the text is majority centered, make sure there's no like bleeding off the edges. So the reason I only check that it's majority centered is because if this was going to be like a massive print run and I was going to get like 1,000 copies of the book, I would want it to be dead center. I would not allow any margin for error. But because it's a print-on-demand service, I'm so sorry if you can hear that's destroying the box. But because it's a print-on-demand service, there is going to be a little bit of malleability with the spine, which is just an unfortunate reality. Then we check the back, again for like the big details. Like for this one, we've got the crown, we've got the Nopoodles Everything Books logo, and we have the previous book cover. And make sure that the barcode doesn't cut off anything. So all of those are crisp and clean, and the barcode that Amazon puts on doesn't cut off anything because it's slightly bigger than the barcode that Ingram Spark does, and you can't manually put that in when you build your cover. Then we go through, make sure that the text is all good to go. This is, and yep, it's all good to go, it's all legible, it's all really nice. Okay, so then the next thing I do is I check the first page to make sure that it is my book on the inside. That is a problem that some people have had over the years, is when it's not their book on the inside, it's their cover but someone else's book, or their book but someone else's cover. Nightmare. Hasn't happened to me. Cross my fingers that it never will. So this is good, and then we check the back pages. So you have the printed in Great Britain by Amazon, because that's where I live. Some extra pages, because Amazon always adds extra pages. And then you check that this is in fact the correct rearmost page that you put in, and then all I do, and I know other people are more thorough, but all I do is flick to make sure that everything's there. It's all there, and it is all there, so you know we're good. And then I also try to check one of the chapter headings. I will do chapter 1 for you guys, so there's no spoilers, to make sure that my chapter graphics have come out clean. which they have, it's all good. That's exactly the same process I do for my Ingram Spark ones, by the way. When I get those, I do exactly the same process. Front, spine, back, front page, back page, and inside. And that usually works really well for me. I haven't had an issue yet. So I do every single one. I buy boxes from Ingram Spark for signed books, and every single book that comes in the box I will check for. Sometimes you get a dud copy, and like with Ingram Spark I'm not too bothered about it. My copy of Mary Arlan Breaking the Curse that I've been reading for my read aloud is a dud copy because the spine is slightly misprinted, but it came in a box, well rather 2.5 boxes of 50 copies of the book. I've sold about half of those now. It came in a box of 50 copies of the book, and this was the only one that was misprinted, so I was just like, well, I'll just use this as an annotatable copy, which I did. So whenever I've got a copy that I'm not selling on, I'll put a little cross on the back. The only one I don't do that for, that I don't intend to sell on, is my flip-through copies that I've got for book fairs, which tend to be the ones that are just a little bit grubby or just a little bit bent out of shape because I've mistreated them at home. And those are the ones that just get picked up and leafed through so that they get, like, the grubbiness is kind of inbuilt. But if I ran out of books and somebody did want the leaf through copy for a little bit of a discount at a book fair, I'd be down with that. Because I don't want someone to go away feeling like they've missed out, you know, and like they have to pay shipping, which you do if you buy from me online rather than in person, if you ever get to meet me in person, because I only do book events in the UK because that's where I live. I mean, maybe things will change and I'll do book fairs elsewhere, but until I'm making enough money for that to be a financially viable option, I will not be doing that. Moving on to the comparison part. Quick drink of tea from my Commander mug. It's a Guardian Cadet series Commander mug. It's my wife's, but she made tea for me in that this morning, so. Okay, so here I have all pulled straight off the bookshelf, which is where I keep my signable copies at the minute. So these are all sellable ones. Well, I say these are all the sellable ones. The ones with the pre-order strip are obviously not for sale. I wouldn't send that out to someone, that would be ridiculous. But I pulled the other two off my pre-order shelf eventually, off my signed book shelf. So here we have all 4. We have a Mary Arlan Finding the Heir from Ingram Spark, a Mary Arlan Finding the Heir from Amazon, a Mary Arlan Breaking the Curse from Ingram Spark, and a Mary Arlan Breaking the Curse from Amazon. Wow! So, one of the things that people talk about the differences, and it's the same for me for both sets of books, I'm just using the Breaking the Curses here, is definitely the fact that the Amazon one is a little heftier. And I don't know if it's just because they add a page in the back, so like I said, with the other one. Oh, shoot, they didn't do it here. But in Finding the Heir, in Mary Arlan Finding the Heir, they added 2 extra pages at the back. One for the barcode, the internal system barcode, and one for, I don't know, spacing it out, I guess. Whereas with the Ingram Spark ones, if you have a plain back page, even if there's something printed on the other side of it, which in this case there is, they'll just put their barcode on that plain back page if you leave it as not being a page, so you have like an odd number of pages in your PDF that you upload. Fun fact. But yeah, so I don't think it's just that this technically has a whole extra, like one extra page shouldn't make that much difference, but it is a big weight difference, and it is a little bit of a spine difference as well. Let me see if I can show this off on camera. Line these up together. Do you see how this one is a little bit chunkier than that one? I hope you do, because it is chunkier, and it must be the thickness of the paper, which I find fascinating because I don't think you can really, like, as a dyslexic person, being able to see through the page is a nightmare for me because I will get distracted by the lines on the other side. That's just how my brain works. But you can't really see through either sets of pages. They're both sort of set up to be the same. I wanted it to be as uniform a possibility across both formats, regardless of where you got it from. So they're both cream paper, they're both the same GSM, they're both the same number of pages, it's both the same content. Why is this one thicker? I don't know, but it is. Yeah. It was weird because my in-laws bought their copy of Mary Arlan Breaking the Curse from, yeah, they bought it. I make everyone except my wife buy my books. They bought a copy from Amazon and I went to sign it for them because, you know. And it was so weird signing it, because I've signed a bunch of the Ingram Spark copies, because that's where I get my signed books from. But like, it was just weird signing this one, because it is a different experience. So the other things that are fundamentally different between the two copies, and this is the same across both sets, again, so I've got a fair few to compare, is the texture, the feel of it. Like, the texture of the Ingram Spark one is very pleasant. I really enjoy it. I like the texture of the cover. I like the texture of the pages. They're nice to feel in your hands, and I just don't have that with the Amazon one. If you're finding that you're buying a lot of indie books, particularly, but books from Amazon, and you're not loving the feel of them, maybe try buying them from somewhere else and just see if that changes, because this feels different. Like, I don't know if you probably can't see it on camera, but my fingerprints are popping up on this as well, which I fucking hate. And then, yeah, each of the pages feel different. They're still really smooth. It's not an unpleasant feeling. It just fundamentally feels different. Other things that are different is the colour gradient. You can probably tell, depending on, you know, how excellent your eyes are, this one is a little bit lighter than this one. I'd like to point out, it is the same image. Interestingly, this one is a bit bluer than this one, and I've heard other people complaining about this as well. Ironically, I've also heard people complaining the other way, where their Ingram Spark copy got a bit bluer than their Amazon copy, but my Amazon copy always comes out a bit bluer than my Ingram Spark copy. I don't have a problem with that. I'm really not that fussed. I don't have that much, like, I'm not desperate to have exactly the right colour. Does that make sense? That feels really mean. Like, obviously I want it to be right, but it's not like this colour or nothing. It's like, this is the colour. This is close enough. And the other thing that's interesting, I think, is it's less of a deal with this one, where the two Guardian logos are about the same size, but with the Breaking the Curse, the Amazon Guardian logo is so much bigger, and it's bigger on the front as well. And I don't really know why it's bigger on the front as well, but it is. I feel like you're a lot more zoomed in on this one, and I don't know why. But you are. There's a fun fact for you. Oh, thank you, Porthos. Ah! 2 pets! Do you mind? God, I forgot. We've taught Porthos to come and sit, like, when you open your legs, he'd come and sit between them. I forgot that when I took a step out, and then there was suddenly just Porthos between my legs. Hello! Anyway, so yeah, I don't know why this one is sort of zoomed in to that one. I guess it's just the format of the covers. I didn't have that so much this go around with finding the Heir. It wasn't so much of a problem. But yeah, if you look at the back, you can really see the difference in the barcode sizing as well. Like, this is a much bigger barcode than that. I also find with the Amazon covers, I'm not a fan of this. They have a tendency to, like, curve, and it's like, it's not even if you do anything. Like, I've never read through the Amazon copy of Mary Arlan Breaking the Curse, but it has this, and it's like this thing. Sorry, this has just come out of the freaking box, and it's already curving on both sides, mind. This one's been on my bookshelf for like a year and a half. Look at the curve on that. Look at how much that is curving, and it's again both sides. Whereas, like, I've had. This is a for sale copy that I've had sat on my desk because I needed to get a copy out. Oh no, this is... I practiced signing this copy because it was a little bit grubby on the front, but then I wiped the front and it was clean, so I was like, oh, this is sellable. I could use this. But it's just been sat on my desk. But this is a copy from Ingram Spark that's just been literally sat on my desk, nothing on top of it for days. And it's still as flat as it ever was. So I do find that the Amazon cover bending thing is quite annoying. I've found that with other books that I have bought from Amazon as well, are printed from Amazon, is that they do that. And other people that I know have also had that problem with, like, books that they've actively bought, not their own books, books that they've bought. Like, my mum buys a lot of books. She goes through a fuck ton of books. And yeah, she has that problem with Amazon books. But on the other hand, the Ingram Spark pages are a lot bendier, and that's not a bad thing. I just find it interesting, and I wonder if that's part of the thing, is that the Amazon Do you hear the difference in that waft? Like, if we're comparing same book to same book again, so Breaking the Curse, that's a different noise. So, ultimately, with my 4 different copies of Mary Arlan pieces of the Guardian Cadet series, with my Amazon, hang on, let me just go through them, with my Amazon Breaking the Curse, my Ingram Spark Breaking the Curse, with my Amazon Finding the Heir, and Ingram Spark Finding the Heir. I really should be using the full title of Mary Arlan Finding the Heir, because Mary Arlan's not the series title, but with all of that, what are my opinions? I like to try and make as uniform an experience across all platforms as I possibly can. I like to make sure that it is as close as possible. Like, I feel like the Ingram Spark copies are the base copies. They are the copies, like when I first made Mary Arlan Breaking the Curse, I wasn't going to do an Amazon paperback. And then to sell it as a paperback on Amazon, it ended up being really expensive, so I thought, okay, we'll do an Amazon paperback so that it's the same price on Amazon as I intend to sell it for. And then for this go round, for Mary Arlan Finding the Heir, I thought, okay, well, I know in advance that I need to do an Amazon paperback if I want it to be the price that I want to set it as. So I did that straight off the bat. There was no no dicking around this time. Straight off the bat. Did forget to order a proof copy, but it's fine because it came on the Friday that it needs to be done by, and that's this Friday that I'm talking to you on now, which is not the Friday this video is coming up. It's out now, by the way, if you want a copy, and if you want to still get the pre-order goodies like this, you can still buy a signed copy from me. You will have to pay shipping, but you can still buy a signed copy from me and get all of that stuff basically until either stocks run out, or if I'm feeling real generous, until I stop feeling real generous. Like, no matter what happens, you're gonna get some fun swag if you buy it from me, but like the draft report that is the synopsis for, like, the fun fan synopsis for Mary Arlan Breaking the Curse is something that eventually it's gonna run out, probably, unless I decide to buy more. So eventually I'm gonna stop sending them out, probably, unless I decide to buy more. We'll see. Basically, I am chaos and I do what I want. Other than the price point problem, which was why I decided to do an Amazon paperback in the first place, would I do that again? And potentially more importantly, would I A, recommend to other authors that they should do that, and B, tell readers to specifically buy it from one place or another? Now, A, I would, yes, absolutely 100% tell authors to do that, because not only do you actually get better royalty rates on Amazon than from Ingram Spark, yay, it is just a it's a place that most people, do you mind? Or at least a whole load of people buy their books from. It is a massive amount of enhanced discoverability. It's so worth doing, even if you're not super jazzed about the quality. But as an author who is wide, aka widely available, I would always use Ingram Spark. 100% of the time I would use Ingram Spark. I'll be honest, I know a lot of people have had a lot of issues with Ingram Spark. I have never been one of them. I am aware of the fact that there is a certain amount of luck involved in that, but the fact of the matter is I've never had an issue with Ingram Spark. I've had 2 problems come up so far, and I messaged the customer service, and bearing in mind that I am working with the UK division of Ingram Spark, I messaged them and I said, hey, I'm having this problem, and they were super helpful both times. And like, that is one issue with each book, but to be fair, the first one was very much my issue and the second one was very much UPS's issue. I live in a flat. It's surprisingly hard to find. UPS could not find my flat, and they sent the books back instead of calling me to ask me where my flat was, bearing in mind the number's on the box. So I had to find a different address to send it to. It was a whole fiasco. Basically, I ended up having to send it to my in-laws' house because I had to send them a new name, address and phone number, so I absolutely had to send it to someone else's house somewhere else, and the only place that I could send it to was either my in-laws or potentially my mum, except my mum works 5 days a week. and my in-laws are retired, so I was like, okay, I'll send it to my in-laws. They live 6 hours away. If you're American, that probably doesn't feel very far, but I am not American. 6 hours is a long way to drive for a box of books, but I got them in the end. It's fine. Ingram Spark has been great. I would 100% recommend Ingram Spark. I think the quality is fundamentally better. I just do. Like, not everyone has to agree with me. You can have your own opinions. I absolutely recommend that you have your own opinions, but that's mine, and that's what I would recommend to people. Would I recommend it to readers to have a specific version? Now, obviously, there is going to be people watching this video who are thinking, you want us to buy the book from Amazon because that's your best deal. No, I want you to buy the signed book from me. That's everybody's best deal. You get free stuff, I get the most money because I'm selling it for I'm selling it for what a bookshop would sell it for if it was a signed copy. I did actually talk to a retail manager friend of mine, or an ex-retail manager friend of mine. She used to manage a retail thing, and she doesn't anymore. She's moved on to a different job now. But she told me that if that was the base price for books, she would sell a signed copy of the book for more money, and it would probably be about this much. So that's what I sold it for. But you do get some free stuff. So I get like more money than I get more money than I would if you bought it from a traditional bookshop or Amazon. Not a lot more than either of those things, but I get a bit more. And you get free stuff. It's the best deal for everyone, and it is, in my humble opinion, the best quality book that you're going to get. Like, the quality of the Ingram Spark book is great. But regardless of that, if you don't have the money to spend that extra little bit of cash to get the cool stuff and the book and the shipping is the thing that pips it for most people, I think, because it's like £10 of shipping on top of the thing if you're not in the UK, or yeah, if you're not in the UK, it's like £10 of shipping, and I'm sorry about that, that's just what it costs to ship. So like, I get that pips it for people and they'd rather get it from somewhere else, like somewhere closer, somewhere with less shipping fees. But if you're going to get it from somewhere with less shipping fees, I would highly recommend getting it from an indie bookstore. Why would I recommend getting it from an indie bookstore, considering the fact that I get less money if you buy it from an indie bookstore, because I just get my Ingram Spark royalties with the discounted price that I sell to bookshops. So like, there's the printing price, and then on top of that I get like a little portion, and then the bookshop gets the majority of that sale. That's how this works. So I have my recommended price, which is currently £9.99, or the nearest equivalent rounded up to 99 pence in whatever currency you're working with, or whatever it was when I set the prices. And then I give bookshops a discount. So they're not paying me £9.99 minus printing costs. They're paying me like £1 per book. Woohoo! So much money. They're paying me like £1 per book. Whereas from Amazon I get like £2 per book. And if you buy a signed copy, I get like £3 per book, because I have to pay for the shipping to get the book to me, which is a little bit on top of the printing costs. Anyway, the point is, I would recommend that you get it from an indie bookstore, despite the fact that it's the lowest amount of money for me, because I'm actually against monopolies. So I think indie bookstores are the way to go. If you can, they should be able to order it in for you. They probably won't have it in stock. You'll probably have to ask them to order it in. You should also be able to get it in your library catalogue if that's something you want to do, which I, again, would really appreciate. Could you leave her alone, please? Porthos, calm down. Which I would highly recommend if you want to get it for like no money to you. You can ask for it in a library. It should be available because I have put the work in to make it available, but your library might disagree. They might not like it. That's their prerogative. I don't know. If you are watching this and you are working in a like indie bookstore in the UK somewhere, please do. And you're thinking, it'd be really cool to do an event with you. I don't have a lot of followers, but I'm so down for it. I can bring my own books. Please just invite me. I'll happily make a reasonably distanced journey to come and see you, and I'll even bring you personally, the person who invited me, a Guardian Cadet mug, not this one, a Cadet mug. Hang on, do I have a Cadet mug? I have the pen pot one. A Guardian Cadet mug, just for you if you invite me. Obviously one that has not had pens in it. I have a collection of still boxed ones. But yeah, so that is my comparison of Ingram Spark to Amazon KDP printed books. I hope you liked it. I feel like it was quite chaotic, but it is like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But yeah, 4 o'clock is like when things get a bit chaotic here, because it's when the Porthos and Ayla both are sort of getting riled up, ready for like out and dinner time. And there she is, it's the baby. You're gonna come around and say hello. I hope you enjoyed. I've said that so many times now, and I hope you will pick up a copy of Mary Arlan Finding the Heir and Mary Arlan Breaking the Curse if you haven't. And I will, I don't know, see you in 2 weeks' time, I guess. Bye. Oh my gosh, Bella. I made that very difficult. Little parrot. Thank you for your butt in my face. Yeah, thanks. That's what I wanted. What are you doing? Are you uncomfortable? Do you want to go down? Do you want me to carry you to your cat tower like a little princess? No, you're super into the lampshade.